Soccer fans, good evening to you and welcome into Rio Tinto Stadium. Tuesday night, the rain is cleared for the time being, and we've got USL Soccer here at Rio Tinto Stadium. I'm Bill Riley, joined by Spencer Warren tonight. And the Monarchs return home tonight, Spence, after dropping back-to-back road contests 1-0. Freddie Juarez's team will try to get back on the right track here tonight and try and do it here at home after a couple of setbacks on the road.
Yeah, some very close games, and unfortunately 1-0 losses back-to-back. So Freddie Juarez needs to get his team back to winning ways. They look good early on in the season, and it's time for them to make Rio Tinto Stadium a fortress before they're away for 6 weeks.
Certainly a better start to 2016 than they saw in 2015, that's for sure. Kind of in the middle of the table right now in USL Soccer play. They'll get a boost tonight, too, up top with a couple of RSL regulars in Olmes Garcia and Devin Sandoval.
Yeah, great opportunity for them to get some minutes under their belt after some bench slots, and obviously Olmes Garcia having a couple of knocks injury-wise, and obviously a couple of the other younger guys that have been on the bench for RSL, and Danilo Acosta as well.
Yeah, we'll see some of the younger players tonight, some of the Monarch regulars. Lalo Fernandez will be in goal tonight, and then he'll have some of the other guys spread through and around the midfield. But really right now it's important for this team, much like we talk about Real Salt Lake, taking advantage of home results when they can, because the field is coming up here at Rio Tinto Stadium very, very soon. And much like the parent club, Real Salt Lake, the Monarchs will be on the road for a good chunk of time too.
Yeah, it's a very, very tough ask to get these young guys to gel early on in the season and then be away from home for a good 6-week spell. It's going to be a tough ask for Freddie Juarez's team, but it's something that they'll be licking their lips and looking to get back to winning ways.
They'll face a Sounders 2 team, the Seattle Sounders USL club here tonight, that's not had the best of starts this season either. Ezra Hendrickson's team is trying to find its way as well. They're in kind of that same boat that the Monarchs are here coming in tonight.
Yeah, they find themselves actually bottom of the table, which is slightly alarming, but again, it's still early doors. They can get into this, and they have some really good players that can actually be game changers. But again, this is a really good opportunity for Freddie Juarez's men, and obviously the guys from Real Salt Lake that have dropped down for this evening to play with the B team.
Yeah, we'll see how things play out here tonight. The weather should be good. It looks like most of the weather has cleared to the east. We'll have starting lineups, some of Gov's keys tonight, and more coming up. Here at Rio Tinto Stadium, it's the Monarchs and Sounders 2 straight ahead. We're back after this. 2.5. Is that on? Just make sure it's on at kickoff. How far out are we, John? 45 seconds. Back inside Rio Tinto Stadium, Bill Riley and Spencer Warren just about ready for kick as the Monarchs and Sounders 2 go here tonight. We'll remind you at Life Vantage, they're dedicated to helping people achieve healthy living through a combination of compelling business opportunities and scientifically validated products. Learn more about Life Vantage and the Life Vantage opportunities at lifevantage.com. Spence, let's take a look at the starting lineups, and we'll start first with the Monarchs. They'll go with Fernandez, Lakawecki, Orozco, Kavita, and Okwanu in the back. In the midfield, Oriana, Sundley, Acosta, and Velasco. And up top tonight, the two familiar Real Salt Lake faces to the home side, Sandoval and Garcia. What do you make of the first 11 for Freddie Juarez?
I do like that. I like Mikey Oriana. Obviously, he's a local hero, so to speak, but I'm looking for these guys to get out wide and get the ball to his feet, and obviously Omes Garcia as well.
Today's starting lineups brought to you by the good folks at Life Vantage. On the other side for Sounders 2 tonight, in back, they'll go with Miller, the keeper, who Real Salt Lake saw earlier this season. Alfaro, Nelson, Fisher, and Tulo in back, along with Ojong, Samuel, and Schweitzer in the midfield. Craven, Monserrat, and Kurtz up top tonight for Sounders 2.
Yeah, strong lineup from them, and obviously Tyler Miller had his birthday down here for Seattle Sounders, and unfortunately made a bit of a howler with that Jamerson Alave goal towards the end of the game for the 2-1 victory for Real Salt Lake that night.
So the weather conditions are good here this evening, since most of the weather, at least earlier today, it was a rainy, kind of cold day here in Salt Lake City. In fact, just as recently as about 30 minutes ago, we had a little rain here, but now most of that is cleared to the east of the Wasatch Mountains, and sunshine as the sun sets to the west is what we'll have here tonight, so it should be a good night for soccer. Glad you guys are along with us on our flagship radio home, ESPN 700, and up and down the YouTube channels for USL.com, and, of course, on KMYU tonight as well in Salt Lake City. So we'll see what can happen here tonight. 2-2-1 for the home side. They'll be in the red with the blue trunks. The visitors from the northwest, the Emerald City of Seattle, will be in the white with a little bit of green trim here and there. Monserrat in the middle will lead things at the forward spot, and you won't be able to miss Tyler Miller in goal tonight. It could be a blackout. It could be the dark of night here in Salt Lake City, and Tyler Miller in his day-glow green-yellow. You won't miss him. We're underway. Great to have you in here this evening as the Sounders 2 moving from left to right. Clearance up the near sideline. Oriana trying to find it. Velasco nods it forward. Pass threaded forward. Monserrat wide. Craven. Couple of touches and a clearance wide now. Settled in back, played forward off the chest of Craven. Both teams trying to find a bit of possession right now. Velasco settles and plays back to Fanny Kavita, the local product. Up ahead, Garcia can't seem to get a touch. Touch last out of bounds by the Sounders. Okwanu will throw in far sidelines here for the Monarchs. Sandoval posting up, plays it back over the top. Garcia gets on the end of it. And then he's tripped up and taken down as the ball trickles over the end line for a goal kick. Referee's assistant was right there. The referee trailed the play by about 25 yards, but the referee's assistant said no foul as Olmes Garcia is still down.
Yeah, there was a slight touch there from the defender. Just caught his trailing leg. But I think the assistant must have missed that, obviously.
Garcia is still down on that far sideline, and Freddie Juarez will get some guys loosening up down below here tonight just in case a substitution has to be made here early. Just a reminder, Monarchs are taking the Riot on tour this year. We mentioned the turf coming up here during the month of May at Rio Tinto Stadium. It's a 7-year-old field. They're going to, almost 8-year-old field. They're going to pick it up, put in some new grass. So while Real Salt Lake's on the road, the Monarchs are going to take the Riot on tour across the state. Coming up Saturday, May the 21st, they'll be at the University of Utah Ute Field for a 7 o'clock kickoff against Orange County, the Blues. Witness royalty for several young talents. Get your tickets by calling 844-REAL-TICKS as head coach Freddie Juarez will take that team up to the U on May 21st. Garcia will be helped to the far sideline, and Tyler Miller will put it back in play here for Sounders 2. Plays it near side to Nelson. Lofts one forward. Settled and played back across. Samuel knocks it out wide. Top of the box, plays it in. Too much for Kurtz, and over the end line it goes. Lalo Fernandez will get his first goal kick of the night here. Minute number 4 and scoreless here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Orozco will just walk it up the field as there's very little pressure right now from Seattle. Play it across to Fanny Kavita. Orozco, the former Chivas USA man, plays it near sideline to Lakawecki. Now pressuring back. Back across it comes to Lalo Fernandez. Lalo overshot his man on the far sideline. That's going to be a throw-in for Seattle. Kavita. Ahead it comes. Oriana. Good step and a break up by Sounders 2. Throw in near sideline to be taken by Lakawecki. Neither team's had really much of a spell of any kind of possession so far. That feeling out process here in the first 5 minutes. Here's Garcia. Holmes Garcia getting a turn, lofting it ahead, trying to find Sandoval. Well read in back. Ojong's got it. He'll play it near sideline to Craven. Craven with multiple touches, 2 defenders in front. He'll give it up behind now. Fisher plays it centrally. Schweitzer. And cleared by Kavita. Alfaro. Tulo. Tried to thread that last pass, couldn't get it through. Suddenly knocked down in the midfield. A free kick coming here for the Monarchs. Alex Sunley in his second year here in Salt Lake City with the Monarchs, 22-year-old. He was drafted out of Cal by New England a couple of years back. Here's Kavita playing it all the way back to Lalo Fernandez. Lalo's another guy that's been around. Hard to believe he's only 23 years old because he's been with Real Salt Lake since he was 18. He has assumed that third goalie's position for quite some time. League like this, Gov, really gives him a chance to get some matches which he wouldn't have gotten before.
No, it's absolutely perfect. Yeah, I mean, you think about the stifling of talent and improving. This is valuable minutes, especially for Devin Sandoval, Holmes Garcia, Danilo Acosta, but also Lalo Fernandez.
Both teams still struggling to possess the ball here and slipping a bit on the turf. Craven. Run off the ball nicely by Orozco. Suddenly plays it wide. Okwanu back to Kavita. Well, you can keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL and its 29 teams. Won't be long before MLS is there too. Atlanta coming in soon. Minneapolis on the way. LA2 coming in the very near future. Flag up. Actually a whistle and a foul there against Oriana. And still talk of Miami. David Beckham won't let that go. At some point in time, they'll find a destination to put that stadium in Miami.
A little further out.
Pretty soon it might be in Orlando. Oh, no, they've got a club there already. The way they support that club, they might be able to support two in Orlando. It was a great USL, NASL story, and now it's a terrific story in Major League Soccer. Here's a flick on by Sandoval. And a takedown there of Velasco, and a free kick coming for the Monarchs. They'll quickly restart it. Lakawecki. Ball sent in, then sent right back out again. Seattle trying to counter here. Nifty footwork ahead. It comes to Craven, and the ball gets caught up in his feet. Craven top of the box. Craven staying with the run, and a good slide tackle away by the Monarchs in back. Lakawecki got back, but that's going to be, well, they're going to say that's going to be a goal kick. Touched last by Craven. I thought maybe Lakawecki touched that last, but they said Craven did, so a goal kick. 10th minute. 0-0 so far here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Lalo puts it back in play. Danilo Acosta. Too much that time for Mikey Oriana. They'll play it all the way back now to Tyler Miller. You can become a fan of the USL on Facebook for exclusive league news and interactive content. Friend the USL on Facebook. Near sideline. Fisher. Nelson couldn't control. Here come the Monarchs. Or there go the Monarchs. Ball through, flag stays down. Monserrat on, shot off the post. He had a wide open net and shot it wide. It hit the post and out for a goal kick. That's one he'll want back, Gov.
Yeah, the very good counter-attack there. The Monarchs back line thought that he might be offside, but it looks like Kavita was playing him on. And then Kavita got caught in two minds of who to mark and left him free. And yes, he'll definitely want that one back after scraping the post.
You could see the speed of Monserrat as he pulled away from the Monarchs' defense, but he shot offline, and it stays 0-0 here in the 11th. Acosta back to Fanny Kavita. Up ahead, Lakawecki. Off of Fisher. Sunley's got it. Acosta around his man. Out wide, Okwanu. Now Garcia. Olmez plays it off the Sounders defender, right to Oriana. Step over at the box. Left-footed shot. Well off the mark. And a goal kick for Tyler Miller. Sounders trying to dig their way out of the basement right now of USL. Been a bit of a slow start for Ezra Hendrickson's side this year. Both home and away. That Starfire complex has always been a tough home venue. They need to figure out how to find results both at home and on the road. Cheeky move there by Oriana. Sandoval. Back to Sunley. Acosta wide, Okwanu. Boyd slides it ahead, looking for Olmez Garcia, but not really going to get there. Good work on that far sideline. Ball finally knocked out of bounds by Tulo. Throw in Monarchs. In the box, Sandoval posting up. Sunley will have a go. Takes a deflection. Tracked down here by Oriana. Gets around his man. Into the box. Sends one through. Nobody on the end of it. Right back out to Boyd. He'll loop it back in again. Nodded away. And Craven tracks down here on the near sideline for Seattle. Good movement through the midfield, and here comes the counter. Shot it off the heel of Monserrat. Lakawecki has it back ahead to Oriana. Game beginning to open up a little bit more now. Velasco. Oriana. Back to Sunley. To Velasco. Richard running at the defense. Richard in. 3 defenders there were tough to beat. Good hustle to stay with it and a clearance by the Sounders. And that one sent into the second row. Throw in right in front of the Monarchs bench. Minute 14. 0-0 so far, but the Monarchs have looked a little bit better going forward as of late.
Yeah, look more comfortable when they get the ball out wide, Bill. And you can see when Oriana gets on the ball, the crowd gets a little bit more excited as well, gets a little bit more into the game.
Kavita brings it across the halfway line for the Monarchs. Vanny back across. Finds Orozco. Back to Kavita. Pressure coming from Sounders 2. Ahead of Costa. He couldn't control. Here's a through ball. Ahead to Samuel. Into the 18. Across the top. Kurtz a shot! High and above Lalo Fernandez, but a good build that time by the Sounders. If Kurtz keeps that down on frame, it might be 1-0.
That's a good couple of counterattacks from Sounders 2 so far this game, and they do look more comfortable soaking up the pressure and breaking with speed. Sorry.
Quarter hour in, still 0-0. You can follow at USL on Twitter. Keep up with all the live action during and throughout the 2016 USL season. That's at USL on Twitter. Near side, Fisher for Seattle. And a giveaway. Sandoval. Back to Lakawecki. Now Sundley. Alec back to Lakawecki. Knocked out of bounds before Oriana could get a turn. And they're going to say touch last by Mikey. Throw in for Sounders 2. Freddie Juarez down below, bouncing back and forth and up and down. Off that bench, Ezra Hendrickson on the other side, settled in on the Seattle side. Ball punched out wide. Left-footed service. No, that was a shot. That wasn't service. That was a heck of a left foot from distance. And Lalo Fernandez just could, all he could do was parry that thing away. Corner kick coming here for Sounders 2.
Good job he was on his toes, because that might have been a little bit difficult, a little bit more tricky if he wasn't.
Corner kick, first of the night for either side. Sounders 2 will take it, far side, right-footed in-swinger coming. Minute 17. Bending, top of the box, punched out by Lalo Fernandez, and they'll whistle Seattle for a foul as he came clattering in to the goalkeeper for Salt Lake. Just a reminder for soccer fans in Salt Lake City. Real Salt Lake is home for the last time until mid-June Saturday night here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Ball headed forward. Settled in the midfield. Ojang plays it wide. Kurtz is there. Plays it back across midfield. Nelson makes his way toward the halfway line, rolls it across to Fisher. Orozco and back being hassled by Monserrat. Now Ojang. Back to Craven. Up the near sideline, the ball stays in. Right-footed ball in on the line, through the 6. And just a touch there by Okwanu gets it through. As Kurtz was lurking on the far side to try to put that ball away. Nice service through that time by Craven. Throw in far sideline. Sounders 2. The only bit of sunshine remaining on the pitch is in the eyes of the man throwing it in right now. Looks like Tulo. Ball stays on the line and wouldn't move. Finally comes back at and it's kicked out by Salt Lake. Throw in for Seattle, far sideline, minute number 19. Monserrat takes the throw. Now into Ojong. Plays it near side to Fisher. Fisher back to Ojong. He'll try to make the big switch out wide to Kurtz. And the flag up here on the near sideline. Monserrat in an offside position. Check out at USL Soccer on Instagram. Well, the USL is all over it. Social media, aren't they? At USL Soccer on Instagram to see match highlights, action shots from games, and more from around USL all year long. You an Instagram kind of guy, Guff?
You know what? I have an account, but it's just a stalk. Make sure my kids are behaving themselves.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea. Twitter's enough for me.
Yeah.
And even then, Twitter can be too much sometimes. Knocked ahead for Sandoval. Monarchs have struggled for a little bit of possession in that final third. All the way back it comes to Orozco. Now Fanny Kavita at the center circle. Just a little game of keep away and back right now, and now a game of giveaway. Fisher's got it. Two Monarchs defenders double up in the midfield on Samuel. And a foul whistled against the Monarchs. Tulo up the far side. Ojong plays it ahead to Craven. Defense comes to meet him. Here's Craven. Running toward the end line. Right-footed ball lofted high and above. Good thought, bad execution by Sounders 2, and a goal kick coming for Lalo Fernandez.
And you can see every time Seattle gets a bit of possession, they're looking for Craven immediately, who's pulled out on that right side.
We've seen some decent service from Craven. That wasn't his best effort there, but you've got big bodies for Sounders too. Monserrat, Fisher, Samuel, Ojong, these guys that can get forward. All the way back now to Lalo Fernandez. 22nd minute, 0-0. As the clouds begin to creep over Rio Tinto again. A rainbow just to our east right now. High and long, looking for Sandoval, nowhere near him. Sent out by Nelson. Tulo. Back to Alfaro. Pressure from Alex Sunley. And Alfaro plays it forward. Schweitzer there to get a touch to it. He touched it last out of bounds. Throw in far side for the Monarchs. Sunley down, no whistle. He shakes his head in disbelief, and we play on. Mentioned the last two matches have been tough. Back-to-back 1-0 losses in the last 10 days. April 15th at UVU to Arizona, and then Rio Grande Valley on Saturday. After a terrific start to the season, Freddie's trying to get his guys back to where they were about a month ago.
Yeah, and he said during the week his most disappointing loss was against Arizona, where he didn't feel like his guys brought that energy that we've got used to seeing.
Well, it's a long season, as we know. There'll be plenty of ebbs and flows with the year. The Monarchs certainly finished the year better than they started a year ago, but there's high hopes. If you talk to owner Deloy Hansen, he thinks this club can win the USL title this year. We'll see. Ball lofted high and long to the near sideline. Craven takes it down, gets around his man Lakawecki, but there to help clean up the mess in back, Orozco. Nicely done. And a clearance up the near sideline. Held in by Sounders 2. Ojong tried to make a switch, nowhere near. Okwanu gives it right back away. Back it comes to Craven. Right-footed ball, top of the box, headed away by Kavita. Back to Fisher. Monserrat wide for Craven. Back to Schweitzer. Up ahead, Fisher. And that's going to be a corner kick. Touch last by Lakawecki and back. Second corner tonight here for Sounders 2. Harrison Kurtz will come to the near side corner to take this corner for Sounders 2 in minute 25. Big bodies forward for Seattle. Kurtz is ready and plays in. Line drive, couldn't beat the first man. Headed out, tracked down by Tulo. Left-footed ball lofted back in again. Right back out to Kurtz. Kurtz with a left-footed ball, deflected. Schweitzer holds it in, sent back out by the Monarchs. Sounders 2 keep possession. Tulo will play it all the way back to his keeper, who will be forced to chase just a little bit here. Well, Nike's a proud partner of the USL. To follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter, you can do that for all the latest information Nike has to offer, some of their new products and more. At Nike Soccer on Twitter. I'm Bill Riley. Spencer Warren humoring me and keeping me entertained here tonight. Hopefully you as well. As we watch a little USL soccer on a Tuesday night, rainy Salt Lake City, Utah. Home side 0, Seattle 0.
I'm sure a goal will help everybody's mood right now.
Now, it depends on who that goal is for. If it's for the guys wearing red, a lot of the mood in this stadium will certainly change. Kavita in back. We'll roll it all the way back to Lalo Fernandez. Lalo, a native of Mexico, but an RSL Academy product. He's one of those homegrown players. Hard to get time when you've had players like Nick Raimondo and Jeff Attanella and others in front of you. So Lalo with his time here with the Monarchs, but also has been loaned out a number of times in his career with Real Salt Lake. Ball knocked out of bounds off the head of a Sounders 2 player on that far side. Touched last there by Samuel. Orozco near sideline, Lakawecki. Off of Craven, and a throw in just shy of the halfway line for the Monarchs. Oriana trying to post up, decides to play it back, and Orozco sends it in. Too much. Overcooked that ball, trying to find Devin Sandoval. Alfaro. Tulo. Good ball ahead. Back center circle, Schweitzer. Trying to find Fisher, who keeps it in right in front of his coach, Ezra Hendrickson. Fisher. Left-footed ball, back post, overhit that ball. Samuel will track it toward the corner flag. Okwanu back with him. And out of bounds, touch last. They'll say by Seattle. Goal kick. '28th minute, still 0-0. Through the center circle comes Devin Sandoval. Boyd ahead. Ole Miss Garcia makes a turn. Plays it to Acosta. Up ahead, Oriana. Wide of the 18. Into the 18. Taps it back, Acosta. Good step and a break up by Seattle. Craven will run with a lot of green in front of him, and a good step there by Orozco to break it up. If Orozco doesn't get that touch, Craven's going all by himself the other way with one or two other white jerseys. Garcia dancing through that midfield. Ahead to Oriana. He'll spray it out wide. Okwanu. Back to Sunley. Kavita midfield. Across Orozco. Monarchs taking their time this time. Acosta to Sunley. Lofting ball, too much again. Trying to find Sandoval. He was well marked. Miller's got it and rolls it out wide. And that foul goes against the Monarchs. Well, as most of you may know, all the USL matches are available live, free, and in HD on YouTube. Follow the action all year long of all your favorite teams in the USL on the YouTube channel. We've played 30 minutes of soccer. We have yet to see the back of the net dented. Who will get the first breakthrough? Sounders 2 with possession. Fisher's ball knocked away. Good hustle play there by Oriana. Velasco gets it to him, to Oriana. 2 men back. Oriana sends it in. Nelson sends it out, and that's going to be a corner kick. First tonight for the Monarchs.
Good hustle, good pressure. Turned the ball over and sent Mikey on his way.
The captain, Velasco, will play it short to Acosta. He'll bend a left-footed ball in, trying to find Ole Miss Garcia, who couldn't redirect. Kurtz plays it ahead. Monserrat all the way back, will switch far side to near. He's got Craven. Fisher with an overlapping run. Craven slips it to him in space. Here comes Fisher. He's in. He's on. Oh, and he made a bad decision. Lakawecki there. He probably could have taken Gov another touch, maybe 2. Instead, he played it across, and there was nobody there. It was behind his man.
Certainly had the angle.
Garcia on the counter for the Monarchs. Garcia in. Garcia knocked down inside the box. Leaves it back, Velasco. Weaving in and out of traffic. Velasco, back post. Oh, just missing. Beautiful work by Velasco. Oriana couldn't get on the end of it at the back post. And we'll have a corner kick on the far sideline for the Monarchs.
Definitely a goal-saving touch there by Tulo. Really good work by Ole Miss Garcia initially, and then obviously Ricardo Velasco getting that ball across, perfectly weighted.
Garcia took a couple too many touches, but Velasco did a nice job cleaning up his mess and nearly setting up the first goal of the night. Second corner tonight for the Monarchs. Velasco will take it. In it comes, lofting toward the spot. Header just wide! Big save by Miller! Kavita nearly had one. Miller stretched out and parried it away. It stays scoreless.
Really good save, full stretch.
Tyler Miller showing you his class right there and showing you why he's gotten some opportunities with Ziggy Schmidt and the senior club in Seattle. 34th minute. Monarchs have begun to find their form in the final third. Acosta. Wide Okwanu. Back to Kavita. Top of the box, Lalo Fernandez. Works it near side now. Emilio Orozco. Long ball. And again, too much. Trying to find Devin Sandoval. Dev's best when you can play it to him, his chest or his legs. He can take it down and then with his strength turn just a little bit. He's not, most that have followed Major League Soccer in Real Salt Lake know that he's not a burner. He's not going to catch up to a lot of balls that are played over the top to him.
Yeah, he's certainly looking to bring others into play, not make those long sprinting runs.
Ojong has it deflected by Sunley. Velasco battles in the midfield and plays it back to Garcia. Garcia tried to find Sunley. And Alec not fast enough to catch up. Quick outlet by Miller. Ojong wide to Tulo. He'll knock it ahead, Monserrat. Kurtz back to Monserrat. Craven trying to time that run. Does. Takes it down wide of the 18, plays it back to Fisher. Now Craven into Fisher. Fisher across, not enough, cleared out. And a throw in deep in the Monarchs' end for Sounders 2. Again, that's another opportunity where maybe Sounders could have taken a shot or at least one more touch. That pass back through the 18 hasn't worked for them just yet. Fisher. Into Monserrat. Leaves it back. Shot. Big save, Fernandez! Samuel thought he had one there, and Fernandez knocks it away. Corner kick, Seattle.
That was a really good save by Lalo Fernandez, but that back line again is slow to react to the danger around the penalty spot.
Third corner tonight for Sounders 2 from the near side. Kurtz puts it down. Big bodies again forward. Line drive in. Craven gets to it, but can't redirect on frame, and a goal kick for Fernandez. Mentioned before, Real Salt Lake returning right here to Rio Tinto Stadium on Saturday night, April the 30th, against Will Bruin and the Houston Dynamo. Match presented by Maverick. Kickoff at 7:30 here in Sandy. RSL Team Store, Carnival Real, the America First Pavilion, all opening up at 6:30. Get there early. Visit RealSaltLake.com, RSL.com, or 844-REAL-TICKS to get your tickets for Saturday night. 37th minute, still 0-0. And a player down on the pitch right now. Is that Samuel? I believe it is. Our referee will go over and take a look.
Looks like he's shaking that off.
Anxious to see Saturday night if Cubo Torres, who has hurt RSL over the years as a member of Chivas USA, gets much time on the pitch. There was much made of Cubo Torres a year ago. When Chivas folded, he went to Mexico for a brief spell, and then there was the debate over who will get his rights when he comes back to MLS, and he was okay. He was nothing special late last year, but We've seen flashes of brilliance from Cubo Torres, so I'll be anxious to see how much he plays come this Saturday night. It will be the battle of teams that have just been shellacked by the LA Galaxy. Houston got it 4-1 2 weeks ago. RSL got it 5-2 Saturday night. Orozco to the near sideline. Lakawecki up the near sideline. Velasco can't get there. It's sent out of bounds by Nelson. Lakawecki will throw in. 39th minute as we get later here in the first half. Still scoreless. Suddenly dancing and dancing and dancing. It's touched last out of bounds by the Sounders too. Lakawecki will throw in again. Suddenly trying to get a turn and defended well there by Fisher. Into the 18, Sandoval across, shot just wide. Nice effort by Mikey Oriana, just couldn't get it on frame. Well done by Sandoval to use that big body to post up and get that ball back across.
Yeah, you're just talking about that, you know, playing to his strengths, getting that ball across. Unfortunately, Mikey just catches that on the outside of his right foot and it spins away harmlessly.
That whistle goes against the home side. Free kick center circle. Taken by Nelson. Up across midfield. Nelson trying to play that ball to Fisher. Couldn't quite find him. Samuel. Schweitzer. Wide for Kurtz. Kurtz running at Boyd. Trying to get around. Good slide tackle. Is that ball going to stay in? It will. Kurtz tracks it back down again. Okwanu takes it back away and clears up the far sideline. Alfaro. Centrally now, Ojong. Long ball, too long, trying to find Fisher. Goal kick, Lalo Fernandez, 41st minute. Ball back to Kavita. Across Orozco. Up ahead, Lakawecki just a bit too far. Gives the thumbs up to his teammate in back.
Seems to be the theme of the first half.
Just a bit too far?
Just a bit too far.
Here's Sandoval. I'll say touch last by Nelson. Big Dev's going to allow Lakawecki. Throw it in. Dev has it taken away. Craven tries to play it centrally. And for a minute, Acosta thought he got away with a handball. Referee said no. Free kick, they'll let Tyler Miller take this one. As we creep ever closer to the end of the first half here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Miller sends it high and long up the near sideline. Craven battling Lakawecki. Monserrat knocks it out of bounds. Oh, they'll say he knocks it out of bounds. I thought it might have gone off of Orozco for a moment, and that was what Monserrat was arguing himself. Fisher holds it in. Fisher gets a touch. Fisher with service. through the top of the 6 again. Second time tonight we've seen a line drive come screaming through the area. Nobody in white could get on the end. This one hops up to Lalo Fernandez, who quickly outlets up the field looking for Sandoval. Good ball. Devin takes it down. And then a collision in back between Ojong and Velasco. And to be very honest, Ricardo went down pretty easy. Here's Garcia. Velasco, Lakawecki. Back to Acosta. Now Sunley will play it wide. Boyd gets a touch. He'll clip it forward. Acosta trying to get there. Tulo gets a love tap from behind by Acosta, and that's going to be a free kick for Sounders 2. 44th minute, still 0-0. Miller puts it back in play. "45th minute. Nelson probing pass. Craven plays it wide to Fisher, and the flag up. Offside. I'm told we'll have 1 minute of stoppage time here at the end of the first half. 1 minute of stoppage time. Orozco sends it long for Sandoval. Big Dev gets a touch. Garcia goes down, can't keep his balance. Back out to Orozco, sends it back in. And the flag up on the far sideline against the Monarchs. Miller will take his time. Both teams will head to the locker room here momentarily and try and figure out a little strategy to find the back of the net in the second 45. Miller high and long, looking for Craven. He'll flick it back. Monserrat keeps control, top of the box. Couldn't thread that pass through to Samuel. Garcia, look at the speed. Sent back in and over the end line. That's going to be a goal kick for Lalo Fernandez. As our referee checks his watch, puts the whistle in the mouth and tells us that 45 minutes of soccer have been played here at Rio Tinto Stadium. After 45, we're scoreless. The Monarchs 0 and Sounders 2-0. Your thoughts on the first half, Gov?
Yeah, Monarchs started to grow into that second half a little bit, started to settle down and move the ball wide, started to play to Devin Sandoval's strengths with the hold-up play and bringing others into that. But a bit of a slow start. That Seattle 2 team looks very good on the counter-attack.
They look good on the counterattack, and they look relatively organized in the back right now, too. Monarchs created a couple of opportunities, but really neither team's had much of a build-up in the final third. It's been a set-piece opportunity or a quick counter, but there's not been a lot of build-up action that have led to chances on goal.
No, you're quite right, and I think Freddie Juarez has got a couple of tweaks that might have to go up his sleeve to maybe move that ball a little bit faster in the midfield. A few too many turnovers for my liking, but again, you go into the half 0-0, you've still got an opportunity to tweak things and improve. Yeah,
it only takes that one chance and that one opportunity. If you're on the other side, what's Ezra Hendrickson saying to his guys, do you think?
Well, as the away team, you've got to be delighted going in the locker room 0-0. But obviously at the same time, Andy Craven has got the he can go past anyone that's been on that right-hand side. He's not always made the best decision as the half went on. So I think you'll probably expect a little bit more from him as well.
Tonight's match being presented by Life Vantage, where they're dedicated to helping people achieve healthy living through a combination of compelling business opportunities and scientifically validated products. Learn more about Life Vantage and all their opportunities at lifevantage.com. It's halftime here at Rio Tinto Stadium. The Monarchs 0 and Sounders 2-0. We'll take a break and be back to Rio Tinto for the second 45 in just a bit on ESPN 700. You're going to have to keep it, John, for about, I need it back here in about 11 minutes.
Stretched out to the middle, back to broke it up. There's a shot. They score! They score! Bernardo Fords. Stretched out to the middle, back to broke it up. There's a shot. They score! They score! Bernardo Fords.
45 of the Monarchs and Sounders 2 tonight. Bill Riley and Spencer Warren with you here this evening as we get you ready for this one. RSL plays here Saturday night. We hope the rain clears. We had a rainstorm, a deluge hit us at halftime. A little bit of rain still in the area, but second 45 should be just fine. As you look at the first half numbers here, Spence, not much to show on the stat sheet. Lala Fernandez came up with a couple of saves. On the other side, Tyler Miller came up with one. There were 4 shots by the Sounders, 2 on goal. 4 shots by the Monarchs, 1 on goal. Nobody found the back of the net.
No, and it seems to me that the goalkeepers had the better of the strikers in that first half with 2 outstanding saves, 1 from each, from Miller and Fernandez.
Second 45 coming up. If you're Freddie Juarez, what kind of an adjustment do you make to try to create a few more opportunities in the final third?
Well, they started to adjust in the first half, realizing that playing to Devin Sandoval's strengths might be a good idea. Instead of trying to knock that long, that ball over the top, and the ball skidding off this very wet surface, and even wetter now, to play it into feet so we can get the other guys into play. Olmes Garcia has been a little bit too quiet for my liking. You saw him right at the end of the first half stretch his legs, wasn't able to get to the ball, but again, you can see the danger that he can provide if he's played in properly.
Others in the lineup and available here tonight for Freddie Juarez. Lennon Celestino, he is available. Frater Park, Amanacona, Brody, Arnone, and Oswald are all available and on the bench tonight for the Monarchs. Lyon, Mathers, Ramos, Patino, and others for Sounders 2. Subs probably a few minutes away still. Both these sides relatively fresh. We'll see what they're able to create here in the first, I would guess, at least 15 minutes before we see either coach decide to go to their substitutes. Real Salt Lake will move left to right across your radio dial and screen here in the second half. Sounders 2 will move right to left. RSL in the home, or I should say Monarchs in the home red, and Sounders 2 in the road white. Here we go. Second 45 underway here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Acosta with a touch, now 2, and he'll play it with the left foot up that far sideline. The on-rushing Olmes Garcia there, but it's sent out of bounds for a throw-in far side. Sounders not taking any chances in back. Lakawecki throws in. He'll get a touch. Now a cross. Back post. Headed back through. Sandoval can't get on it. Now he does. Leaves it back for Sudley, who has it run wide. Here's a shot deflected out. As Garcia got a right foot to it. And out of bounds it goes. Touched last by Sounders. And I say touch, deflected wide. As that ball came hard off the Seattle defender. I think that's, yes, that is Samuel who's down.
Good deep cross from Lakawecki to start that off. And Oriana, a little bit too deep, unfortunately, for him. But he was able to put that back. And Devin Sandoval didn't quite have enough space to turn and get a shot off straight away.
Throw in far side. Lakawecki will throw in. For the Monarchs. Lofting it into the 18. Headed back the other way. Garcia will have a go from the corner of the box. And send it high and above Miller for a goal kick. I don't mind seeing Olmes Garcia take some shots because he's a dangerous player. Sometimes where Olmes gets into trouble is he takes too many touches. Maybe that one shot for one less touch might be better here in the second half. We'll see. But when he's at his best, it's using that speed to get around guys.
Yeah, and it may be something that Freddie Juarez wanted a little bit more from him because he had that quiet first half. Maybe to try and get that confidence, maybe test the goalkeeper nice and early as it's a little bit wetter and a little bit colder now.
Myron Samuel continues to be down. He's pointing to the trainer and telling the trainer that it's his right ankle. Trainer is turning toward the bench and saying, we're okay. Samuel's not ready to come out yet, but Ezra Hendrickson's got some players up and loosening right now, and he may make that substitution anyway. Samuel up on his feet. He's going to try and walk this one off. He went up high, took the deflection on a shot a moment ago, and then what happened was he landed awkwardly. It wasn't the shot that hurt the ankle. It was the awkward landing and a twist of the ankle on that turf. So he'll take that slow walk to the sideline, and Tyler Miller will put it back in play here for Sounders 2. Just underway second half at Rio Tinto Stadium. The rain for now has moved to the east. 49th minute. Tonight's match is being brought to you by Rio Tinto Kennecott, where they make life possible. Take a closer look at riotintokennecott.com. In back, dangerous ball. Fernandez has to take a touch, play outside the 18, now take another touch. You better hustle back inside. And finally the Monarchs clear. If that's Nick Raimondo for Real Salt Lake, you don't worry so much about it, but most other keepers aren't nearly as comfortable with the ball at their feet. Garcia down again and no whistle again. Craven offside and a free kick coming for the Monarchs.
Fernandez certainly had to be alert there after a short back pass as well.
Fanny Kavita near sideline to Okwanu. He'll play it all the way back to Orozco. Lakawecki far side trying to find Richard Velasco. You've got Orozco and Velasco on the pitch right now for the Monarchs. Here's Kavita, former Clemson Tiger. Takes a touch and lofts one forward, trying to find Sandoval. Tell you what, every time Devin goes to post up, there's quickly a Sounder defender on his back. Here's Velasco, wide of the 18, lofts one up. Lakawecki, not a bad thought, but the defender there to help clean it up. Now the Sounders unable to clear their own end. Monarchs retain control. And the ball sent out of bounds. They'll say touch last by Tulo here on the near sideline. Thrown in quickly by the Monarchs. Well, you can keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL and its 29 teams. Left-footed ball through the center circle and high. Back the other way. Fernandez comes outside of his area. He'll take a touch and play it out wide to Orozco. 51st minute, still 0-0. Samuel testing out that ankle, still on a bit of a jog. Slippage up ahead, Sandoval's got it. Big Dev taking a turn, firing a shot inside the box. One hops up to Miller, might have been a handball. Sandoval certainly thought so. What about you, Gov?
Yeah, it was maybe a little bit too close with that deflection there onto his arm. But I can understand the appeal for sure. I can tell you now that the Monarchs have looked a lot better in possession this early few minutes in the second half.
Boyd couldn't keep that one in. That's going to be a throw-in. Ezra Hendrickson up, pleading his case, but the referee's assistant saw it, and he had it. Throw-in for Tulo down below. He looks ahead for Monserrat. Couldn't find him. Acosta does. Here's Garcia. Ole Miss Garcia. That was ambitious. Tough for Oriana to handle. That was tough for Monserrat to handle. A line drive off his chest from Fisher. Of all the players on the pitch here for Seattle tonight, Fisher's the guy that's seen the most time, probably along with Miller, but mostly Fisher with the senior club. Orozco up that far sideline to Lakawecki. Back again to Orozco, who rolls it across to Fanny Kavita. Okwanu lofts it ahead. Tulo got a touch to it. Now Acosta. Danilo Acosta. Good slide tackle away again. Schweitzer got that ball. Ojong Wide for Craven. White jerseys forward, 3v3. Craven to his left. Into the box. Still loose. In front. And the Monarchs clear. Too many touches there for Sounders too. Just too many touches.
And that back line just switched on after being under severe pressure. Nobody went to ground, nobody left their feet, which allowed them to get a toe poke and move that ball nicely and now counter.
Garcia on the counter. Olmes to his right foot. He'll take a drive from distance. Doesn't reach past the top of the box, takes a deflection. Garcia tracks it back down. Mike Oriana, left-footed ball. It can't get past the defender either. Cleared out and across midfield by the Sounders. Good job by both back fours protecting their 18-yard box. 54th minute here and still scoreless. That was Alfaro on the far end with a good step. Lakawecki plays it back to Orozco. Suddenly dancing on it at the halfway line. Lakawecki keeps it in. Pressure from Craven. Kavita picks up his head and clips it ahead. Sandoval couldn't get to that one. Tulo clears up the near sideline and out of bounds. Well, become a fan of the USL and do it on Facebook for exclusive league news and interactive content. Freddie Juarez just about ready to reach to his bench, and it looks like Tyler Arnone will be our first substitute tonight for the Monarchs. Garcia slots it through. Okwanu trying to get there, and he's nicely run off the ball by Tulo for a goal kick.
Been impressed with Okwanu defensively. He's locked down that side on the right side of, or his right back spot there. Not a lot of joy for the winger that he's come up against.
Craven having some success up that far sideline. Lakawecki on him. Max cuts him off. Ball left for Fisher. I think that ankle's bothering Samuel. He's not really been able to plant or get anything done since turning that thing about 10 minutes ago.
And he's just started to limp now. Looks like he may be stiffening up and getting a little sorer.
It's a chilly, cold, wet night. Not too unlike something you would find this time of year in Seattle as well. But it's a night like this that brings out the nicks, the knocks, and the cramping. Here's a left-footed ball forward. Trying to find Monserrat. Well read by Kavita. Sandoval can't control. There's a late whistle against Tulo. 57th minute. Still 0-0. Oriana. Now Sunley. Alec to Garcia. Olmes. Devin Sandoval being chased and harassed in that midfield and plays it wide to Okwanu. Like Oriana. Poked away from behind by Tulo, and that's going to be a throw in deep in the Seattle end and taken quickly by Boyd. Sandoval turns. Ball spilled by Miller, but he tracks it back down before Velasco can get there. Arnone getting a couple of more sprints in down below before he checks in with the fourth official. 58th minute. Craven far side trying to play a two-man game with Fisher. Now Schweitzer, centrally Ojong. He distributes near side here. Patino.
What I do like about this Freddie Juarez side is that they do like to build from the back. There's no long ball out. They like to build and try and move the Seattle 2 around the field and try and open up some gaps.
Center circle, back to Orozco again. Patino here in the second half has assumed the spot Kurtz occupied in the first. Tulo back to defend well on that ball from Okwanu that got away. That's going to be a goal kick for Sounders too. Miller to play it. Back in here for Seattle as Arnone continues to loosen below. Freddie Juarez and his club hit the road on May 7th to Portland as they take on Timbers 2, 3 o'clock Mountain Time. Watch the game with a live broadcast at rsl.com. Visit rsl.com or call 844-REAL-TIX for more information on tickets for upcoming matches. Out wide, Craven, far side for Seattle. Sounders 2 trying to build here. Top of the box, Samuel trying to have a go at it, but Oriana closed from behind. Sounders keep possession, and they switch to near side. Tulo. Tulo cuts it back outside. Patino into the 18. Plays it centrally. Good breakup by the Monarchs. Nelson will track it near midfield and hold it in. Plays ahead to Fisher. Craven with Lakawecki on him. Craven. Right-footed ball off of Lakawecki, and we'll have our first corner kick of the second half. Fourth tonight for Seattle. We've played an hour of soccer here in Salt Lake City, and we remain scoreless on a Tuesday night between the Monarchs and Sounders 2.
And that Andy Craven has been a thorn in Lakawecki's side all night. I do like the look of this young man.
Service has been good. Pace has been outstanding up and down that flank. Samuel to take the corner kick far side. Samuel in. Craven off his back and right into the waiting arms of Fernandez. Quick outlet for Lalo as he looks to knock it long, trying to find Oriana. Ojong back, sending it back in again. Hops through the legs of Sandoval, and Orozco plays it out near the center circle. Schweitzer. Back to Tulo, and the Sounders reset with possession. Follow at USL on Twitter. That's at USL on Twitter to keep up with all the live action during the 2016 USL season. Looks like our next stoppage of play will bring Mr. Tyler Arnone onto the pitch for Freddie Juarez. Craven on a beautiful ball wide, tracks it down. Takes a touch, plays it in. Samuel gives it right away to Sunley. Oh, that was terrible luck for Seattle. Sounders keep possession. Ojong wide. Fisher. Back to Ojong. Nelson tried to play that through Sandoval, and that's going to be a giveaway. Here comes Big Dev. Sandoval. And Alfaro back to track it and clear it wide.
That ball just bobbling right in front of him as he started to get into his stride. One of the benefits of the field being changed in a week's time.
62nd minute. Arnone will check in, and checking out will be Alex Sunley.
Tidy game from Sunley. Nothing flashy really, but worked hard.
So the first sub of the night for Freddie Juarez. We'll see how this changes up that midfield dynamic. Arnone's one of those guys that can play in back. He's been known to play at right back. He can also play in the midfield for you. Monarchs will throw in far sideline. Deep in the Sounders' end. Sandoval posting. Plays it back outside. Lakawecki into the waiting arms of Tyler Miller. Tulo. Back to Alfaro. He's going to have to be careful. Sandoval's lurking, and Miller's just going to kick it out of bounds. And Ezra Hendrickson is not happy with Alfaro right now. He had no business playing that ball back to where he did. Hendrickson saying just clear it up the other end. We have another substitute momentarily here for the Monarchs. Okwanu throws in toward the corner of the 18 to Sandoval, who settles. Lakawecki up ahead. Garcia harassed by Fisher. You can always tell those guys that get a little bit of time with the senior club, or at least bounce back and forth a little bit, they're wearing the higher numbers. Garcia wearing 80, Fisher wearing 81. Fanny Kavita knocks it up the near sideline. Backline mate Okwanu does a nice job to get around Patino. And a whistle and a foul goes against Seattle, and that's going to be a great spot for a free kick here for the Monarchs.
Good direct play by Boyd there. Yes, he's a defender by trade, but he likes to get forward and run directly at the fullback, and he's won that free kick, and as you said, in a good position.
Velasco will stand over it. He'll get a little advice out there as well. The captain will take it and play it in. Headed down and wide! A terrific set piece as he looked for Orozco, and Orozco just couldn't keep it on frame. But that was set from the jump there, Gov. Orozco came bending around the corner, and the service was perfect off his melon, just wide.
And in the words of Brian Dunseth, that was a lovely snap-down header, but just wide of that far post, unfortunately.
Velasco's night will be done here. And on checks, Amancona. Not the biggest cat on the field, but cat-like quickness. You know, use that size to his advantage. Some would say being 5'2" is a disadvantage. He'll use it to his advantage, ducking in and out of defenders. 66th minute.
Just ask João Plata.
Works well for him. Hope to see that guy back Saturday night. Sent in by Kavita. Taken down. Played across and trying to find Oriana. Like he slipped a little bit. Too low, can't keep it. Oriana wins it back for the Monarchs. Arnaud. Acosta. Back centrally now for Orozco. Garcia clips it high and too long that time for Oriana.
Nice idea, but execution was a little too straight and a little bit too far ahead for Oriana.
When will the breakthrough come? Will the breakthrough come tonight? Nice job by Fisher to play that ball forward. Check it. It was not Fisher, that was our friend Samuel. Nicely done. Here's Craven pressuring in back. Back it comes to Lalo Fernandez. Lalo simply clears it out of bounds near midfield. Well, check out at USL Soccer on Instagram. You'll see match highlights there, action shots from games all around the USL. At USL on Instagram. And you might find Spencer Warren there too, but he'll be hiding, stalking his children, making sure those little buggers aren't in any trouble like their old man.
Never in a million years.
Ojong plays it wide. Craven. Flag stays down. Craven trying to get around. Lakawecki can't. And Fernandez clears. Oriana. Amancona. Kavita across to Orozco. 68th minute now, still 0-0. Okwanu getting up this near flank again. Couple of touches for Boyd, plays it centrally and gets it back. Back to midfield, and Kavita plays it to Orozco. Things appear to be quiet for now on the substitution front. Good ball wide, Amankona. Boyd Okwanu into the box, and Miller knocks it down and scoops it back up.
Been a really good outlet, Boyd Okwanu.
And roll it up the center of the park, and Ojang plays it ahead to Monserrat. I'll tell you what, we called Monserrat's name a bunch in the first 45, Spence. Not so much here in the second. Here's Patino. Lofting a ball too much, trying to find Monserrat.
The Monarchs look certainly better defensively this second half. Things have tightened up. Play is a lot more patient in the build-up. No panicking yet, which is nice. Sometimes you see that with 20, 25 minutes to go. They just want to start lumping that ball forward, but no, they're sticking to the plan that they've got, and Freddie Juarez will be somewhat pleased so far.
Ezra Hendrickson also pleased, but both coaches would be markedly more pleased if they could find a goal here. 70th minute, still 0-0. Orozco walks it across midfield. Outlets to Lakawecki. Now Acosta. Amankona, the little man, marked by Schweitzer. Right-footed ball in. Oriana just couldn't quite get there. Just a little bit off that ball, or if that ball checks up. If it's not wet turf tonight, that ball might check up, and Oriana might have a chance instead of goal kick for Miller.
Nice ball into the box, though. Good weight on that. Just needed Mikey to be one step ahead.
Kavita all the way back to Lalo Fernandez. Okwanu finding more room up this near sideline again. Finally, they close it. Patino closes down the space, but not before Amankona gets it. And plays back to Kavita. Orozco can take his time, pick out a teammate. Instead, he'll dance through the midfield and then give it away. That's why he's a central defender. Monserrat. Over the top, looking for Craven. The flag stays down. Craven wide of the area. He'll wait for teammates. Play it in. Picked out of midair by Fernandez. He might have been able to wait a second or two more for another teammate to enter the fray. Instead, it will be a counter the other way, a one-man counter with Omes Garcia. Garcia. Amankona. Out wide for Lakawecki. Arnone turns it back the other way. Orozco with a switch to the near side, and he overhit it. And hit it Ezra Hendrickson. Here comes another substitute for Freddie Juarez. Andrew Brody will check in here in the 73rd. And Mikey Oriana's night is done. Boy, he put in a good, healthy 73 minutes tonight and earned a nice round of applause from these fans.
Almost everything that came from the Monarchs in the first half was coming through Mikey, and as you said, that's a good shift and some good minutes under his belt again.
So Andrew Brody will get to finish this match, provide some fresh legs in the midfield. And he'll adjust his boot quickly here as it came off him. Nothing more frustrating than being on the pitch 10 seconds and your boot's already off. Retie that thing. Ojong knocks it off Arnone. Travels all the way back to Nelson. Rolls it out near side here for Alfaro. Left-footed ball forward, Alfaro. Monserrat with a defender on his back. Tries to keep possession. And that ball out of bounds. Tulo played that to Patino, and he was on the wrong side of that line when he touched it. Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. And a good look at whatever the new boots are coming out this year. At Nike Soccer on Twitter. I'm Bill Riley. Spencer Warren with me here tonight. A wet and rainy Tuesday in Salt Lake City, Utah, in a scoreless match so far between two teams trying to help their cause and climbing that table in USL. We've got a Sounders player down behind the play right now. Okwanu still dancing on it. That appears to be Ojong who's down behind the play, and he's holding his right leg.
He's gone from the front to the back. I'm not quite sure which muscle he's hurt this at this moment in time, but
he's certainly down, and the trainer out from Seattle to check on him. Real Salt Lake back here Saturday night at Rio Tinto Stadium. The senior and parent club of the Monarchs, their final home game until mid-June. The turf you see here at Rio Tinto Stadium, which is now going on 8 years old, will be gone. The entire month of May, they'll be ripping it up, putting it back down again, and by the time Real Salt Lake and the Monarchs come back here in June, be a brand new surface. But RSL hosting Houston Dynamo Saturday night, 7:30 is the start time. Go to rsl.com or 801-727-2700 for ticket information.
End of an era, Bill, with this turf.
This turf has seen some big matches here, Spence.
It's also seen Paul McCartney.
It's seen Paul McCartney. It's seen Kenny Chesney.
The Eagles.
The Eagles were here as well. Aren't you supposed to address him as Sir Paul McCartney?
No, because he can't decide if he's a Liverpool fan or an Everton fan.
Oh.
He just loves the city of Liverpool.
You've got to choose, don't you? That's one of those things where you can't be both. You can't be a politician. You have to choose. You know what that tells me? He's not really a fan of either.
He's probably not.
If you can't make your decision, you're probably not a fan of either. Ojong done. They'll substitute him off here tonight, and Lorenzo Ramos will check in. Number 41, Ramos, will play the final 15 and change here tonight. We're inside of a quarter hour to play here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Still waiting our first goal of the night. Acosta at the halfway line. Plays it wide. Lakawecki getting forward to Garcia. Olmes switch near side. Brody with his first touch. And back to Okwanu. Now Kavita. Amancona. And a high spinning ball that will stay in, trying to find Sandoval. And the ball out of bounds, touched last by the Sounders. 78th minute. Just a reminder, all your USL matches are available live and free and in HD. Just go to the YouTube channel and watch all year long. The USL YouTube channel, where you may be watching us tonight. 12 and change to play here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Lakawecki forward. Wide for Garcia. Fisher with him. Two defenders there now. And a goal kick coming for Seattle.
Certainly been good solid minutes from the Real Salt Lake guys that have dropped down for this evening. Will certainly help keep them fresh and pushing for places.
Be very interesting with Jeff Cassar this week. The Real Salt Lake guys that have dropped down tonight are both forwards. Real Salt Lake has injury issues. I talked with Jeff Cassar today on my radio show on ESPN 700 Radio in Salt Lake City and asked him the status of both Joao Plata and Burrito Martinez, and he said, as of now, both are out. Neither trained on Tuesday in Salt Lake City, but both are dealing with muscle issues, so sometimes those can heal quickly, sometimes they do not. Here's a ball through, and that's going to be a foul on Devin Sandoval and a free kick coming for Seattle. Burrito Martinez, after scoring his goal Saturday night in L.A. to put RSL up 1-0, came up lame with what appeared to be a quad injury, and then Joao Plata's been dealing with a bit of a hip flexor issue now. So again, that's really about feel. And again, the thing you have to manage still here in April is the fact that it's such a long season. Muscle injuries can linger if you don't give them proper time to rest and heal. And it's better to have a guy miss a match or two early and know that you've given them proper time to heal than try to rush them back too soon, re-aggravate it, and then have them out for another 3 or 4 weeks.
And you've also got to take into the account, you know, the amount of traveling that's going to come up for the next 6 weeks. Back and forth to Salt Lake, and that takes a toll on the body.
It does. It's one of those things that newcomers to Major League Soccer from Europe and South America and other places, they don't understand until they have to. When you play in the Premiership, you hop on a bus or a train, you might have a flight once or twice a season. You don't certainly have to fly 3,000 miles.
Certainly not.
On a Wednesday and then play again on a Sunday. Here's a ball lofted into the box. Lalo off his line to punch that out for the Monarchs. Tracked down by Tulo here on the near side. Schweitzer will roll it back to Nelson. 81st minute. Will we find that breakthrough tonight? Schweitzer all the way back now to Miller.
Game has just gone a little bit flat the last 5 minutes.
Well, I think the injury stoppages and some of the substitutions, some of these guys that have come in haven't been able to find the match just yet. Here's Craven, who's been very active tonight, one of the better players for Ezra Hendrickson. Alfaro all the way back to Miller. Miller wants Nelson out on the flank, and he plays it out wide to him there. Schweitzer. Back now to Nelson. Here's a long ball over the top. Craven, they kept him on. Craven back, battling with Okwanu. And that foul goes on Craven. Very surprised the flag stayed down there. Okwanu now holding his left leg as he's in some pain as he came and collided with Craven from behind. We'll see if Boyd's okay.
Looks like he just overextended as he slipped to try and clear that ball because Lalo Fernandez didn't come off his line quick enough. Decided to take charge and, as I said, probably overextended just a little bit there.
I think that may be what we see from Seattle here over the last 10 minutes or so. I think Sounders might be pretty content with a point on the road. They're not going to take any chances in back, and that's exactly what happened. Boyd just slipped on that wet turf, and you can see him limping just a little bit here coming to the side. He'll try and jog this thing off and finish this thing out tonight. Fernandez puts it back in play. Alfaro with a nice job. Nelson clears. Lakawecki, Arnone. Lakawecki in. And off of Nelson on a deflection. Ball forward. Here come the Sounders. Samuel. Indecisive and it cost him. Tried to find Patino, but Orozco was well positioned. Throw in far side Sounders.
Yeah, looked like there could be a really good counter-attack there by Seattle too, and Fanny Kavila managed to get back and hold them up and got Boyd in the play, and in the end Orozco did the rest.
Brody tried to slot that ball through to Sandoval. And that's a late whistle against the Sounders. And if I'm the Monarchs, I'd almost rather have that play advantage. It looked like the Monarchs had a chance to turn that back upfield.
I think the quick spin of Acosta got the referee's attention, which made it decide to call that back.
It was Ali Hadzik that was whistled for the foul for Seattle. Sandoval posting 35 yards out. Ball sprayed wide here to Brody, overlapping Okwanu. Boyd with a right-footed ball in. A good step clearance by Seattle. This game now getting a little disjointed. Samuel said he wanted that at his feet, not played out ahead of him. Lakawecki halfway line. If you're an RSL fan, watching or listening in Salt Lake City, join the Pride, become one of 15,000 season ticket holders for the 2016 season. Visit rsl.com or call 801-727-2700 to get your tickets, your season tickets for Real Salt Lake in season number 12. 86th minute, Garcia. Back to Arnone. Brody wide. And Tulo kicks that one up into the seats before Boyd can get to it and get on it. Throw in here. Monarchs. Arnone. Amankona, good slide tackle, top of the box, and another good step there to break up that shot from Arnone. Here's another one from distance. It hits Schweitzer. And then Sandoval can't control as it goes over the end line. Miller with a goal kick here as we approach the 87th minute.
Neither goalkeeper has been overly worked this evening. There's been some really good last-ditch blocks by the centre-backs for both teams.
Played short to Alfaro. He'll try and switch it. Amankona intercepts. Back to Lakawecki. Now Orozco across Kavita. Either one of these teams have one, maybe two last gasps left in them. Switch near to far side. Orozco with some green in front of him. Now Kavita. Chips it high and long. Sandoval posting. Gets a touch. Brody brings it down but can't control. Lakawecki on it. Arnone. Acosta. Amankona. Right-footed service in. Sent high by Nelson. And the Monarchs will have a look at a corner here. Their first of the second half. Their third of the match in the 88th minute. Amankona will put it down from the far side corner. Try and whip one in here with a right foot. Played in. Header high and picked out of midair by Miller. Second time tonight, Orozco on a set piece got a chance on it. That one not quite as good as the first time around.
Been very impressed with Amankona's delivery since he came on, either from set plays or during the runner play. seems to have found his man nearly every time, or very close.
Samuel leaves it for Craven. Back to Samuel. Taken away by the Monarchs. Trying to find Garcia, couldn't. Ramos. Fisher. Slotted ahead, Samuel, and the flag up. Just needed to delay that run a second or so more. Couldn't do it. 89th minute. Brody works it up the near sideline for the Monarchs. Back to Okwanu. Now Kavita. Still pretty good form and shape out of the Seattle defense. Back to Kavita. '90th minute now. How much stoppage time will we have? Sounders 2 turn it back upfield. Tulo. He'll make the switch. Out wide, far side. Patino. Cuts it inside. Should have probably given that ball up to Ramos. Amancona to Acosta. Back to Orozco. 2 minutes. We'll have 2 minutes of stoppage time here at Rio Tinto Stadium. I think Ezra Hendrickson would like to get another sub in the match, but he won't. Here comes a counter attempt. Over the top, Tulo. He's on and he's in. Oh no, the flag up on the far side. It came up late and ruled the Sounders offside.
Dodged a bit of a bullet there, Bill. Some were playing the offside trap, some were looking to drop back, and a little bit of confusion in that Monarchs back line as we head into injury time.
The evening now complete for Samuel. Thought it might have been about a half hour ago, but he shook off the ankle injury and stayed in here. He'll shake the referee's hand as he makes his way to the sideline. Late substitution here for Ezra Hendrickson. As we play into stoppage time, the referee said a minimum of 2. We've already played nearly 1. Ball trickles in back. Oh, goodness. Garcia nearly had a 1v1 opportunity, but they whistled a foul on Devin Sandoval.
Yeah, very close for me.
Ooh. Free kick here for Tyler Miller. Miller waving everybody forward. This might be the last shot for the Sounders to get up the pitch.
Just got to keep switched on now, do the Monarchs. Kavita underneath this.
Flicked on. Fernandez scoops it up. Quick outlet to Brody. Brody to Arnone. We'll see if the Monarchs get one more look at this. Arnone wide for Lakawecki. Referee checking his watch. Good step by Seattle. They'll have a look one more time. Garcia comes back to track it, and a late whistle against the Monarchs. I mean, really late whistle.
Just wonder if he was going to allow the play.
Ali Hadzik went down, but I guess he was waiting to see what happened afterwards. We are in the dying moments of this match. There can't be much time left. This may be the last look at it for either side. Ali Hadzik to take the free kick. Right-footed ball pounded in. Craven can't get there. Fernandez up with it, and that's that. Referee blows his whistle and tells us that 90 minutes of soccer have been played here tonight at Rio Tinto Stadium. And after 90 minutes of soccer and a couple of rainstorms here tonight, we end in a 0-0 draw. Monarchs 0 and Sounders 2-0 here tonight at Rio Tinto Stadium. Well, certainly if you're Freddie Juarez, you'd love to get 3 points at home, but you'll take a point. And I think if you're Ezra Hendrickson, you'll take a point as well on the road. Seattle will really take any kind of result they can get at this point in time. And the Monarchs, after a couple of losses, Gov, will take the point here at home, though you would have loved to get 3.
Yeah, they were the better side in the second half, and they will feel slightly disappointed that they haven't been able to get that goal and get that last home win at Rio Tinto Stadium before the new field is put down.
Well, they'll have to go on the road and do it really in the month of May, but we're still early. We're only in the second month of the season. Plenty of time to build here, and certainly more points now, and certainly a better outlook. You can clearly tell the talent level on the pitch this year is greater, and the experience of a year ago in USL Soccer has certainly helped this Monarch side.
Absolutely. You can see they're trying to play soccer. They're trying to play it the right way. Instead of just moving the ball back to front with the long balls, they're trying to build from the back, and it looks very attractive. The end product needs a little bit of work, but that will come definitely.
So they'll be on the road for a while, but they'll be on the road in the state as well. May 21st at the University of Utah, and May 7th they'll be on the road up in Portland against Timbers 2. Saturday night, you and I will be back here for Real Salt Lake as they take on the Houston Dynamo. That's a 7:30 start time here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Once again, our final score here tonight at Rio Tinto Stadium, the Monarchs 0 and Sounders 2-0. For our entire crew here, including our very capable camera person, Gina, and Chids, who's running things back in the booth, Dan, who helped out as well here, I'm Bill Riley. For the Gov, Spencer Warren, saying thanks for joining us here this evening, and we'll talk to you next time.
Stretched out to the middle, back to
Broke it up. There's a shot. They score! They score!
Bernardo forwards. Rochester
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.